It's currently the beginning of January, and one of the most important parts of running a mail club is ordering enough inventory to make sure that when it comes time to ship out everyone's letters, that I have enough materials and enough supplies to go out to everyone that is a part of my mail club. And for the month of February, the Cozy Reader Club is up to 47 beautiful members. I am so grateful for you. If you are one of the 47 people, literally feels like I am sending letters to my bookish best friends all around the world. And the way that I run my mail club is I close signups for the upcoming month on the first of the previous month. And basically what that means is if you want to receive a letter for the month of February, you need to sign up by January 1st. Or if you wanted to get a letter in March, you need to sign up by February 1st. So if you think about it, it's like exactly 1 month before. I know that's a little bit confusing, but the reason that I do that is because I need to know exactly how much inventory to order in a substantial amount of time before it comes time to shipping everything out. And so what that means for me is I close signups on the 1st, so I know exactly how many orders I have for the 1st of the next month. And so on the 2nd, I basically order everything that I need, everything that I can't create from home. And so on the 2nd of January, I ordered the paper that I needed. I used 3 different types of paper. I also put in an order for the bookmarks that I am shipping out to everybody. I also ordered the postage, so the stamps that are going to be going on every single person's letter, and also the vintage wax seal stickers that go on front to seal up everybody's notes. Everything else I already have at home. I make at home. Today is January 4th, meaning I already ordered everything that I needed to about 2 days ago, and that brings us to the work that I have today. That brings us to the writing and ideation stage of the mail club. And basically what that means is every single month I send my subscribers a newsletter on exciting books that are coming out in the upcoming month, as well as a personal letter from me writing about some kind of book related topic. I sort of like to think of it as a personal essay, and it's just very personable. I really pride myself on the human touch that everything I'm writing really has. I know we're really surrounded by AI and just like computer generated content. And so I really like to take some time to sit down, write on my computer these notes and these letters to people that I just, I look forward to everybody reading every single month. But an idea hit me a couple days ago on how I could make my newsletter in particular even better than it already is. On that newsletter, there's 5 books that I think should be on your radar that are getting released in that month. But what if I turned the newsletter into a newspaper, a vintage newspaper with like a couple other columns in it? So you still get the exact same amount of information as you got in the newsletter, with all of the books, just as much written about those books, but we also included a couple other segments. I'm going to put a screenshot of my newspaper right now. That's a work in progress. And I just feel like it adds a little bit more. It adds to the vintage feel. It offers more value, and it's definitely more work for me, but I think it's work that I enjoy. And I feel like I can rotate around each month what kinds of things I want to include. So of course, the newsletter component will always be there, where I'm talking about books that are coming out that month. I could also do a segment where I talk about a book getting turned into a movie that's coming out this year, or maybe an author announced something really exciting, or there was something really cool going on in the publishing world. And so I feel like an actual newspaper for readers would be so fun. And again, I would be basically writing my own newspaper called the Cozy Reader News, because this is the Cozy Reader Club. All of that to say, basically the most important things that I need to get done today are continuing to flesh out my Cozy Reader News, the newspaper and newsletter component. And then I also need to work on the personal letter. I have picked out my personal essay topic and I've written a paragraph, but I'm not loving how it's looking. I'm not loving how it's sounding. So I think I need to brainstorm more, reflect more, get a draft done. And then the next stage of my process is taking a step away from these things for a couple days and then reviewing it with fresh eyes and a fresh mind. So that's what I'm going to do right now at 2:00 on January 4th. And then I will see you guys for the next stage of my mail club. Today is Monday, January 12th, and it has been, I want to say, about 5 days since I finished the Cozy Reader News and also the personal letter that I am writing to all of my subscribers. And one thing that I think is really important in terms of the writing process is writing everything, making a rough draft, stepping away from it for a few days, and then rereading your draft with a fresh mind. I don't use any AI for this, and so if there's any mistakes in there, those are my mistakes. And so I try my best to avoid mistakes at all cost, but I did want to show you guys the draft of the February newspaper. It might be better if I put a screenshot on here, so we'll see. But the front of the Cozy Reader News has all February new releases that I think should be on your guys' radar. And I was able to make it 6 books instead of the usual 5 because with this formatting, I'm actually able to fit more books and more information. So I have 6 books and their descriptions that I think you guys should be on the lookout for in the month of February. And then I added a small little column called Reading Rituals where I wrote about what your routines are as a reader. Like, do you like to read at night? Do you like to read in the morning? Do you make a cup of tea, a cup of coffee? Like, just what are your rituals? And so I wrote about mine. And then on the other side, I did not cut this properly. So today I'm going to like reprint, recut, and just like test everything. But on the other side, I wrote an article about the Wuthering Heights film release. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte is getting adapted into a film this month with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. And so I wrote about that. And then on the bottom, I have a couple romance book recommendations because it's February, I had to. And then I also just included some bookish trivia with an answer key. And I feel like this is so fun. It's so much more information and I can rotate around the columns. Like every month you would get the new releases, but everything else I feel like could change a lot. And so I'm really loving how the newspaper turned out. And then also some of my supplies have come in the mail too. So I got the envelopes. Usually I'm going to be doing like a green or a very neutral palette, but for February and like the month of love, I wanted to do pink. So I have my envelopes that came, the stamps that I'm going to be sending everybody, the wax seal sticker to close it. Here's actually my big box of wax seals. And then the other thing that came today, which is so exciting, literally got it in the mail. I was like, oh my God, I need to update the vlog, is the bookmarks for February. And my theme for February is loosely just like floral. I don't like to commit to a theme too much because I don't know, since I do books, I don't want to be too limiting. But yeah, we're doing like a floral vibe in February. And so this is the big stack of bookmarks, but I'll give you guys a close-up look. Here is the front. I think it is absolutely adorable. And then here is the back. I really like to stick to like a vintage, oh man, did it unfocus? I really want to stick to like a vintage aesthetic just because I really want this to feel as old-fashioned as possible. Like you're getting a vintage Cozy Reader newspaper in the mail and you're getting a vintage aesthetic bookmark in the mail with a wax seal. Like I just want it all to go together. And seeing the February supplies and everything all come together is just making me really excited. Like even just seeing all 3 of these things, I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone's going to love the February newsletter or letter, I guess. And so that all really brings us to today. I feel like that's everything that's been going on. Today, what I want to do, as I said before, is reprint out the newspaper and also the personal letter, cut them down to proper size, and then I'm going to read over the printed copies. I will literally take like a red pen and write on this draft to improve it, see if there's like grammatical errors or if I just want to word something better. And another thing that I do is I will read everything out loud. I feel like when you read things in your head, it's a lot easier to miss things. And so I will literally read this entire newspaper out loud to myself and then go at it with a red pen to fix things because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and I also like to write and I would love if my writing actually sounded good. So today we're going to be reviewing everything, fixing everything up, making sure I have all of the supplies. And then the next step will probably start next week where I begin pulling all of my supplies together. So that's printing everything, cutting everything, folding everything, packaging everything, signing everything. It does not sound like it would take very much time, but I promise you guys it is very time consuming. And so I give myself like a full week to do that. So I'll probably start that early next week. And then I'm always working on other things in the background, like marketing, talking about snail mail on YouTube, making TikToks about it, all of that kind of stuff. I'm trying to like get my Bookstagram up and running again. So I'm always working on smaller things, but those are all my updates for now. I'm going to get to printing and revising my letters, and then I will update you guys when I have something else to update you on. Today is January 23rd, and I am hoping to get all of my printing done and all of my cutting done. I would also really love to sign all of the personal letters if possible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. It's really just going to depend on where the day goes. I know that this video isn't going up for a while because I like to post these vlogs after everyone has hopefully received their mail, so it comes as a bit of a surprise. But at the time that I'm filming this, I live in Dallas and we are about to get supposedly like a really intense winter storm. It's supposed to roll in today, and so everyone's been told to like really prepare to, potentially be without power for a while, to not be able to drive, like you can't get on the road because of the rain freezing overnight and it just becoming like black ice on the roads essentially. And so I did have like quite a few plans for the weekend, but they have all been canceled. And so I'm just hoping that I have power this weekend so I can actually get all of the mail club stuff done. I feel like that's one thing you don't really think about when starting a mail club, is just the way that, personal life can sometimes interfere with getting things done. But if I can get everything printed today, theoretically, I could package up all of the orders by candlelight this weekend if we do end up losing power. So I think that's going to be my goal, is because things are supposed to roll in tonight. And so if I can get all of the physical items prepared, everything ready to go, then tomorrow I'll actually have something to do that doesn't require power. I won't be able to ship out everyone's envelopes until the storm passes, obviously, so I will keep you guys updated on that. I'm definitely a little bit nervous, and so I'm trying to just keep my hands busy. It is after work now. You guys can probably tell it's dark because it's raining now. It's supposed to like snow later, but yeah, it's raining right now. I think I'm gonna like eat a snack and then get to printing everything and cutting and all of that good stuff. It's actually the next day now, and trust me when I say that so many things have gone wrong in the last like 24 hours. I feel like that is probably a side of running a mail club that I should also show in these monthly vlogs. First of all, I think I said yesterday, I definitely did, a winter storm is coming to Texas, but also just like the South and the East Coast. And so last night I wanted to start printing everything, and when I went to print, I was low on black ink. And so I printed like honestly a lot of the personal letters, and then they were all like half printed because I was basically out of black ink. And so I started freaking out last night because I was like, I'm going to be iced into my apartment for the rest of the weekend, like from basically Friday night through at least Monday. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I need ink so I can get everything done. And so I DoorDashed for way too much money the black ink cartridge to my house because it was like raining and starting to get icy and I was too scared to drive. And so DoorDashed that to my house. I was like, okay, perfect. We're all set to go. I'll print and cut everything tomorrow. Flash forward to today. It is snowing, ice, sleet. You like can't walk outside or drive outside without like slipping or sliding. And so I start printing everything and two things happen. I got through like 2 or 3 of the things that I needed to print. And then all of the sudden my newspaper, my beautiful, cute, lovely newspaper that I'm so proud of and so excited about, started printing red. And I was like, why are we doing this? It's a black and white old-fashioned newspaper. Why are we printing in red? And it turns out that at this point, my color cartridge of ink had run out. And when that happens, there's like some color that like balances out the black. So actually you are using some color when you print out black and white things. I didn't know that. And so all of my newspapers started printing out red. So I got about 30 of those. I am probably going to have to like go get them printed at like my local UPS or USPS because I don't have time to like order in a new ink cartridge and I don't want to DoorDash it again. So that will be fine. It's just annoying. And then the other thing that happened is I printed out 50 personal letters. Okay. I was ready to go. I was locked in. And then I realized that I printed them on the wrong paper and I had to print all 50 of them again because I send out my personal letters on this like vintage looking like brown speckled paper and I had to reprint them all again. So that was a waste of ink and very sad and very unfortunate, but I am literally iced into my apartment and I only have 30 newspapers. So I'm going to have to figure that out. I'll probably just have to print and pack the last 20 orders like on the day that I'm shipping them, which is fine. It's just a little bit annoying because I like to feel really on top of things. All of that to say, today I was able to print all of the word activities, all of the personal letters, and 30 of the newspapers. And so I think the only thing that I'm going to do today is sign all of the personal letters, and then I'm going to call it a day. I'm really, really tired, and I like still don't know if we're going to lose power or anything like that. So those are my updates. I think I'm just going to sign things and then relax for the rest of the evening and get back to like packing and stuff tomorrow. Today is now January 29th, and I haven't updated this video for several reasons. The first reason being I have been iced into my apartment for honestly so many days now, and so unfortunately I was not able to get the letters out as early as I normally do. Normally I like to try to target the 25th of every month to get all of the letters out, and oftentimes people are getting their letters before the new month even begins. So it's not the end of the world that the letters are going out later this month. Today is the 29th, and so I will be shipping them out today. Basically starting on Saturday through Tuesday, I literally could not leave my apartment because Dallas was covered in like 3 inches of pure ice, so you couldn't drive. And then the other thing is, you could probably hear it in my voice, I did catch a little bit of a cold this weekend. And so once I started to feel not so great, I obviously stopped with all of the snail mail. Literally just did everything I needed to do, drank all of the liquids to feel better. And so once I was better, I packaged everything up, and now I just sound a little under the weather. I'm totally fine, but I just sound not that great. This is the box of all of the letters that I am sending out for the month of February. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention before heading over to the post office is I'm actually sending out 2 more little letters because 2 besties from my mail club in January actually decided to write me back, which was so nice. And recently I went on a camping trip to Big Bend National Park. And so while I was there, I picked up some postcards so I could write back the girls who wrote to my P.O. box. This isn't something that I can guarantee everybody every single month. I'm not sure if I'll be able to write everyone back a personal letter, but I do think that every month I do want to write back at least a couple people. So maybe 2 or 3 people get a literal personal written letter in return. And so I'm really excited to send out these 2 little postcards from Big Bend to besties Michelle and Cora. So if you guys are watching, you guys are amazing. You made my whole month. I think those are all my updates. I'm no longer iced in. I'm no longer sick, and I have so many beautiful letters to send out. This is how they turned out. I'm not going to show the front because of addresses and stuff like that, but we have our classic wax seal sticker and a little stamp, and then all of the lovely goodies inside. Oh, and I did forget to mention, I did end up going to the UPS yesterday to get the last of my newspapers printed. So I'm going to have to figure out the whole ink situation for future months because my printer runs out of ink really fast, and ink is really expensive. So I'm not really sure how to navigate that. That's going to be it for this update though. I am headed to the post office. I run a mail club for readers, and today I'm shipping out 47 letters. So let's go to the post office. While I'm here, I want to check my P.O. box. If you guys are in the February mail club, keep an eye on your mailbox because your letters are coming. I'm just about finished editing this video, but I realized I never actually shared the final haul or like the final collection for the February mail club. I never actually showed you guys all of the different components in this month's letter. And so I thought we could do that really quick right now. This month I decided to do a pink envelope with a little love postage stamp and my P.O. box, of course. And then on the other side, I have the standard wax seal sticker. And then I also hand stamped every single envelope with a little floral stamp. Inside each envelope, we have the Cozy Reader News, which I feel like turned out so good. This is the front and this is the back. I'm honestly not sure what my favorite article is in here. It might just be the new releases for February. Then I also wrote everyone a signed personal letter. This is what the inside looks like. The February word game was a crossword, and I made it winter flower themed. So all of these flowers bloom in the wintertime. I wanted to stick with a loosely floral theme in February, and so it doesn't say that anywhere, but I guess if you watch the vlogs now, you know. And then I also have the answer key on the back. But I feel like this turned out really cute. Adorable, right? And then finally, I also included the bookmark that I showed you all earlier. I am using it actually in my current read. And yeah, it was just the vintage floral bookmark. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And literally am using it every single day. If you guys made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down below the sunflower emoji so I know who made it all the way here. And as always, if you guys are interested in signing up for the Cozy Reader Club, I always have it linked in my video description down below. This club is made for the people who just absolutely love reading, who want to be in the know of reading, what books are coming out, what's going on in the bookish community. Also, the Cozy Reader Club is a great way to push yourself to spend time offline. If you are looking for a little push to pick up your book and use your new bookmark, or go book shopping and keep an eye on what books to look for at the bookstore and stop scrolling as much as we do in this age of AI and technology. Those are things that I personally am really passionate about, and I know that the people in this club feel very similarly. I think that is it from me. I hope you guys are having the absolute best day and the absolute best reading month. Thank you so much if you are one of the incredible people in my mail club. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.